What I'm about to show you is installation of a Racetech Gold valve with IBEC progressive springs in a 2002 XR650L front fork. I'm only going to show one. The procedure is the same for both. First thing you want to do while the shock's still on the bike, if you're going to pull it out, relieve the pressure inside the shock, inside the tubes. Loosen up this bolt while it's still in the front end. It'd be the easiest thing to do. That's what I found to be easy. Alright. First thing you're going to need to make sure that you have new seals. That's an oil seal and a dust seal. You're going to need new inner and outer slide, which now you don't need, I suggest. Fork oil, and in our case, new springs and gold valves, which you'll see later on during the disassembly and assembly. Also might be handy if you have this. Number 1, take off the boot. Number 3, remove the fork cap O-ring, the spring seat, and the fork spring. So let's do that. Put a piece of wood on the ground. Give a little something soft to lean on. Not on cement or anything of that nature. This is going to need a, floating around. Oh. Alright, the end cap. Alright, the end cap here. Take 17 millimeter. Should already be loose. Be careful on moving this. It's under spring tension possibilities. So just unscrew it real gently. You want to get fork oil in your eyeballs. Boom. That pops off. You'll be able to put this all the way down, or whatever you feel comfortable at. Next is remove the cap from the center rod setup. There's oil everywhere, so be aware of that. Take the cap. Take the cap and this little guy, just set it aside for later. We're not actually going to watch me drain the oil because it's just a matter of turning it upside down, pulling out the spring, turning this thing upside down, the oil comes out. Make sure there's nothing in the oil when you dump it out. An indication something else major broke. The next step after draining the oil is to remove the dust seal and the stopper ring. Very easy to do. Get yourself something similar along these. I mean, they probably make a special tool for this, but whatever. So, dust seal is this little guy right here. Get the dust out of your shop. All you do, you can see here, zoom in a little bit. My ugly mug. you just pop this off. Might take a couple shots, but so after removing the dust seal, you can see here, just pop that off. Pretty much garbage because we have a new one. Now, just take a small screwdriver, there's a little snap ring in here. Should be able to just pop it out. Okay, if not a screwdriver, take a... Alright, after you get the seal off, there's a little snap ring in here. Should be able to just pop that out. I'm just using a small little scribe. Real easy. There's little catches in there. Bam. That's gone. Keep that. We need to reuse it. Okay, after draining the fork and removing the tube, it's here, no tube, no oil, you got to remove the bottom bolt. It's right there, there's a little cover. Pop that cover off. Put this in a vise here to stop the tube from spinning. Now be careful, this is aluminum, so be careful of the vise you put in. You might want to put pieces of wood on each side, or I just take wads of cardboard, about 4 layers of cardboard on each side. Same concept. You don't have to be really tight. You just got to stop from spinning. And then you just loosen this up. Now, before you loosen this up, there's an adjuster in here for your compression dampening. Back that all the way out. And when you go to remove this bottom bolt, it's going to be Loctited in there, so it might be a little tough. Make sure you have a nice long wrench and a nice secure clamp on this. And then just remove your bottom bolt. Easy as that. Now the bottom bolt has a connection. Now the bottom bolt has a connection to this lovely little piece of something or other that's in here. So when you're loosening it up, sometimes it doesn't want to come out. Just put a little bit of pressure on there. Sometimes you got to pull it out. Doesn't take much. I push it in a little bit, and it comes right out. One removed bottom bolt. Let's put it aside. Remember, there's a little O-ring, a little copper ring on it. Don't lose that. You're gonna have to use that. Sometimes more oil comes out of here when you take that bottom bolt off, so I like to drain it again. Okay, so after removing any extra oil, the next procedure is to remove the seals. It can be as simple as taking this piece of the fork and using it as a slide hammer and yanking on it till the seals pop out. See what happens. Okay, so after taking this thing apart, maybe we'll slide this big bad boy out of here. Oop. Take that aside. You'll notice there is a couple of things still on this tube when you pull it out. You're going to have your inner slide bearing, your outer slide bearing, a random ring is your inner seal for your oil. To remove these, Take a screwdriver, there's a little slot, take a screwdriver in there, pry it open, pop it off. Everything else should pop right off after that. Remember, we're replacing these two and this seal, but you need to keep the washer. Okay, after spinning the fork, take this piece here. We got to get to the valving unit. The valving unit's located right in here. There's a small ring that unscrews. You could use a small Phillips head driver or whatever you want. And the valve should pop out after that. Okay, I'll show you a little close up here. Close up here, there's these guys right here. Should just come real easy. Starts out, just unscrew everything. Pop that out. Okay, now for valve assembly, it's been real tight. There's no ring in there. So just take this little rod, give it a couple taps. Nope, we're draining some oil out, it's alright. Well, I got towels down there. Alright.